Cincinnati Bengals last year they were 12-4. They did miss a game, obviously the DeMar Hamlin situation. Uh, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Some notable losses include Samaje Perine, Hayden Hurst, Eli Apple, Von Bell, and Jesse Bates. Some notable additions include Orlando Brown Jr., Irv Smith Jr., Miles Murphy, DJ Turner, Nick Scott, and Jordan Battle. Their strength of schedule last year was the third hardest, and this year it's 17th. So what do we think about the Bengals?
I mean, I think the Bengals are going to be good like they have been since Burrow's been healthy. And yeah, they've lost a couple people, but that Orlando Brown Jr. Getting him is really going to bolster that O line and give Burrow some actual a little bit more protection than what he's had because he's been doing what he's been doing with one of the worst offensive lines. So, and then you can't forget they have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, like their receiving core is set, and Burrow throwing them the ball there. I can see them going and winning 13 games.
Did you say Eli Apple was a notable loss?
Just because he started a bunch of games, honestly, I had to because he started. It's not a notable loss, but I kind of
Uh,
had to put it in there. But yeah, we all
mm,
know nobody
yeah.
thinks it's a notable addition or loss.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's the core, three or four teams in the AFC, and Cincinnati's one of them. So it's, on paper right now, yeah, 13 wins is what I had them at too. But what do we're also, I don't think, including the whole Burrow situation that's going on right now, right? Because now they're trying to say Jamar Chase at least is saying, Burrow sit out until week 5. Does that I don't think it's going to cost them the division, but it might cost them a seat or two. I don't, it's I get what he's saying, but I don't know how you could rest Joe Burrow. So
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the best teams in football. They can win the Super Bowl any given year. We just haven't seen them win a Super Bowl. I look at the Bengals and the Bills kind of the same boat. Um, they both have excellent quarterback. Either Burrow can win the MVP this year if he won it if he's healthy and the team and the offense is healthy. Um, I'm a little worried about that secondary. I know they went with so they lost Jesse Bates and they lost Von Bell and they ended up getting Nick Scott. They drafted Jordan Battle. So I mean, I'm a little worried about that secondary, a very different looking secondary that you know could hurt them, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, who knows. Um Orlando Brown Jr. Honestly, after the additions that they made last year in the offseason, I don't know how you can fix the offensive line except for getting a new offensive line coach. Like that offensive line looked awful and they added guys who have been good elsewhere. They've added guys that have had success. And on their own, individually, they are successful. But I don't understand how that offensive line is so trash. It's a weird because I do think Samaje Perine is a little bit of an interesting loss because he was kind of that he would get a bunch of targets, he would get a bunch of carries if he's to relieve Joe Mixon. Who are you going to give the ball to now? A lot of questions surrounding this Bengals team, including that injury. I I'm just a little. There's so many question marks. I'm a little worried. So I'm probably thinking 12 wins. They might have a really good regular season, but I don't know if this team is going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I still feel like they're held back a little bit. I don't. I think they could beat the Bills or the Chiefs, but there's so many questions surrounding this team, and but they are still a very good team, and I won't doubt Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase, T Higgins, that entire offense. Um, at any given week, they could drop 50 on a team, and at any given week, um, on a 1 o'clock versus like the Colts, they could just fall apart and we'd forget about it the next week.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of my point. You know, like if you're going to sit there and you're going to rest Burrow for the first 5 weeks, not saying that that's what they're doing, but you know, you lose a couple of those games, and you're looking at what maybe a three, well, not a 3 seed, so you'd be what, a 5 seed,
yeah, and if
4 or 5.
in a division like the NFC North, like if the Browns somehow uh, are very relevant this year, we'll get to the Browns after. The Ravens look really good and go to their potential. Who knows?